Hey guys, wanted to make a quick video about this shocking story that came out in the Wall Street Journal earlier today. And I wanted to do this because I have quite a bit of experience, not just in the civil litigation context, but also more specifically with respect to handwriting and signature verification. Now, let's go back to July earlier this year. The Wall Street Journal published an article claiming that Donald Trump sent a birthday card, if you want to call it that, to Jeffrey Epstein, probably the most notorious pedophile in American history, on the latter's 50th birthday. And as described in that July article, it was a naked woman and a description, basically in the third person with a narrator, which, if accurate, would seem to pretty credibly prove that Trump and Epstein were involved in illegal activities involving underage girls. Now, of course, Trump immediately vehemently denied that this ever existed, that he ever said this stuff, and he wasn't, claiming they misrepresented it and I was just joking. This was a total fabrication. And because Trump, this is so politically damaging for him, as it should be, he filed a defamation lawsuit almost immediately. Now, to prove a claim of defamation against a public figure like Trump, it's a very high bar. You have to prove as a plaintiff that the defendant acted with actual malice in publishing the false and defamatory statement, meaning that they knew it was false or they recklessly disregarded a bunch of information that should have made it clear to them that it was a lie. Now, in order to support that, accusation, the way they framed the lawsuit, and it's on your screen, is it was claimed by Trump's attorneys, again, consistent with Trump's denials, that it didn't even exist. It wasn't misrepresented. It was a complete and total fabrication. So we've got this lawsuit on the first page. And of course, at the bottom, they just say that, the Wall Street Journal holds itself out as a credible newspaper, journalistic outlet. They follow high standards of ethics. And they do this over the top. And yet defendants' malicious, deliberate, and despicable actions that give rise to this action show that plainly they do not practice what they preach. Well, I wanted to point that out because that ran right into a brick wall very hard earlier today. Again, these two highlighted portions are important. This is what was alleged as Donald Trump's attorneys. Indeed, defendants Safdar and Palazzolo, the two Wall Street Journal writers who put out that earlier article, provide a series of quotes from the non-existent letter. Next, the reason for those failures is because no authentic letter or drawing exists. Again, not that it's misrepresented or they're lying about its contents, but that it does not exist at all. It never even happened. Okay, and then you get to, I just wanted to point this out. Remember in paragraph 16 where it shows just how dumb they are. I mean, the people in Trump's camp are so stupid and incompetent, but they're very evil, so they cause a lot of damage. The article was published in the Wall Street Journal as an exclusive. Now, me and you as common sense, normal people, for the most part, understand that means the Wall Street Journal had exclusive access to the information they were writing about. For some reason, these idiots allege, however, since publication, defendants have widely disseminated it to hundreds of millions of people worldwide. What are they going to do? You publish it to one person? It's just interesting to look at. This is the kind of people we're dealing with. Despite these unsubstantiated claims, paragraph 21, however, the article does not attach the purported letter, does not identify the drawing, blah, 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 and does not show any proof that Trump has anything to do with it. And then 22, this is because the supposed letter is a fake. And the defendants knew it when they chose to deliberately defame Donald Trump. So what is this letter or this card? Well, it wasn't provided back in July, but it was today. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so what you have here is, again, I don't know what you call it, a birthday card, whatever. And let's go through it. It says, there must be more to life than having everything. And it's a voiceover like a narrator. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. And then there's the signature at the bottom. Very distinctive. It's got the squiggly, kind of the up and down lines, like a Richter scale, what it makes me think of, and then the long line to the right. Now, okay, when you look at that, it's like creepy to even read it. But I want you to notice the anatomy, okay? An adult man is not going to draw a female like that. That, to me, and I think anybody else who looks at that, that looks like an underage girl. I mean, it's disgusting that I have to talk about this, that it's on the screen. But again, this is the American president, and we got to bring the facts to the people. So they have a lot of secrets. Enigmas never age. And then Trump says that's not his signature. And that's basically the defense that's come out today in the media. And, again, this is the president who ran on the promise of disclosing the Epstein files. This is the president who continues to pressure Congress. And right now, about 99% of MAGA Republicans have succumbed to this pressure to block the release of the Epstein files. Mike Johnson, even. I mean, these people are so desperate to cover up this pedophile, disgusting situation with the most notorious. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein is credibly alleged to have trafficked over 1,000 underage women. Okay, some of whom have committed suicide. They have lifelong PTSD. And again, Mike Johnson is so desperate. He actually said that, well, Trump was an FBI informant, which is ridiculous because it would mean that Trump was involved in illegal activity. He got caught by the FBI, had to flip, and the only reason people are informants is because they know about the criminal enterprise. So that would just implicate Trump further, as well as there would be a paper trail. So just a massive cell phone made no sense. Okay, so let's look at some correspondence from this time period. Now, when you get to some Trump signatures, so compare the signature that we just looked at. Now look at these, all around the same time. The Epstein card at the top, the 1995 letter, the 1999 letter. I mean, these are all the same. Richter scale, squiggly lines, long tail to the right. Again, another one to Rudy Giuliani, of all people. Look at that signature. This is a letter to Larry King. And this is really funny because Keith Olbermann is very liberal and actually really hates Donald Trump. But apparently Trump wrote him a letter back when Olbermann was a sportscaster or sports writer in New York and said he really liked what he wrote. Well, again, incredibly implicating. I mean, this is 2014. It's a widespread of time, and it's the same signature over and over again. So when you look at, and this is one of the letters that was in that first piece of signatures I showed you, just so you can see it blown up. It's consistent. It is absolutely his signature. Now, from a legal perspective, to introduce a signature into evidence in front of a jury, there's a rule called, there's three things you have to look at. Foundation. What is this? How does it relate to the lawsuit? Okay. Second, authentication. Is this thing what it purports to be? And then finally, hearsay. Let's go through those. Okay. The foundation is, well, in the lawsuit that Trump filed, obviously it's relevant to the case. Secondly, as far as authentication, the rule on authentication in federal court under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, which most states follow, or something similar, is you just have to show that it has distinctive characteristics and that it is, there's evidence sufficient to support a finding that it is what it purports to be. It's incredibly minimal. If the signatures look alike, then they're going to be introduced. I don't think you even need an expert witness for this because a jury can compare them. You can also have someone who's familiar with the signatures, with his signature, authenticate that every one of these documents, including this disgusting birthday card, is from Donald Trump. Finally, is it hearsay? Absolutely not, because this is an admission of a party opponent, so it would be automatically admissible. It would technically be hearsay, but there's sort of an exception carved out in the rules for that. Now, okay, so we see all this. We see that he wrote this. He lied about it. It's got the anatomy of an underage girl. Well, that's not the only thing, all this together, which I think proves that it's him that wrote this. Look at this. It was also in the Wall Street Journal article, and it is Jeffrey Epstein holding up, I believe, a $22,000 check. And the way that Trump describes a human being here as a piece of depreciated property, like a chattel, like a piece of furniture, like an old house, an old car, a guitar, something of that nature, is shocking and disgusting. Jeffrey showing early talents with money plus woman sales, fully depreciated to Donald Trump for $22,500. Okay, so Donald Trump is telling the most notorious human trafficker in American history that he sold him a depreciated female. Okay, what the hell else do you need to know? So putting all this together, this could absolutely be proven in court that this was his. I mean, it would be a slam dunk case. And when you look at this, when you look at the contents, I mean, it's obvious Donald Trump is involved in what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Human trafficking, underage girls, the most vulnerable people out there. He picked on women, underage girls who are from vulnerable, broken homes. It's sickening, it's disgusting, and watch MAGA stick with it because they're fundamentally evil, bad people. They are the enemies of us, of the truth, of democracy, and everything good in the future that we stand for. So, wanted to give you this overall analysis. Hopefully it's helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you again soon. Take care.